It's 5 a.m. and this is the train we're boarding at the Channel Tunnel, leaving Folkestone for Calais. Trying to catch the trees, mistletoe, with big balls of mistletoe.
They're nests.
Oh, they're nests! They're not mistletoe lumps. This is where I trip over in search of crows. Hi everyone. Well, I found it quite tricky using the buddy book for drawing. It was bumpy and things just go by so quickly. So you start and then before you know you've passed. The one thing that really struck me, or two or three things that really struck me driving down here, up here I should say, it's glorious. We're in the mountains. This is the Haute-Savoie. A little village called Châtel, and we're close to the border, in the French Alps, on the border of Switzerland. What struck me driving along was the mistletoe, huge amounts of mistletoe in the trees, and the crow's nests, and the amount of lichen on the trees. And I googled to know a little bit more about mistletoe. And it's quite sad really. Something so pretty is a real invader and it can kill those trees. I've been working a little bit in my new big sketchbook and I just seem to want to try and replicate something of what's stuck in my mind. I've also had I'm going to show you, it's bad, but a first attempt at a bit of a washy crow. So I think I might like to have a go at doing some crows, charcoal crows, crow's nests. Phenomenal, those things are so big. And reading up again on that, they're over a metre, some of them, and they're really cleverly built. They have 3 layers. They have their outer twig structure and then an inner layer, another layer, and their inside layer they find moss and soft material, bits of fur. How lovely to make it all cozy. Creatures are so clever. We might be getting down to Switzerland and hopefully, I think there is a Turner exhibition on, so we have to travel over the mountain or wiggle all the way down and then drive into Switzerland, down to Martigny, which sits just underneath the St Bernard Pass. It's a great area. The other thing I wanted to say, and I'll talk more about next week, I started up this sketchbook and I thought, doing the first few pages, what about doing a step-by-step how I approach a page or 2 pages of sketchbook and sharing that with you. Something that if you're stuck or if you think it might be an idea to try, love it or hate it, I thought that might be a thing to do. And then I thought actually I could start a playlist of sketchbook pages. But as usual, I'm running ahead in my mind, and I've got some pages down in Sketchbook that I could share and start with that next week. Yeah, lots to think about, lots to see, lots of walking here. The spring colours in the trees on the motorway as we were driving through all the regions was just lovely. Guess what? These are the gardens. Hi everyone. No. Hi everyone. No. Scratch all of that. Scratch. Hello everyone. Back in the cabin. I don't know where to begin. I've got quite a few things to say to try and summarise this week's video. Obviously the biggest thrill and the unexpected pleasure comes from Sketchbook. And I guess really the biggest surprise is the attempt at a crow. When we got back, the first thing I did was dig out, we've got this old British birds book, and I had to look up. Well, I don't know if I've been looking at a crow, a rook, a hooded crow, ravens, and the most bizarre thing, choughs on this page. And last night Craig said to me, oh, there's a programme on. In the UK we have a celebrity comedian called normally known as Vic Reeves, and his name is, and the programme is called Jim and Nancy Muir, and the crux of it is Jim loves art, loves birds, loves his wife, loves Nancy, so he's got everything in the programme, and it's quite good fun. And last night, I don't know how many of these programmes, I haven't been watching, so I don't know how many programmes there are to catch up on or how many are to come. He and Nancy went to Cornwall to find choughs, so crows with these lovely red beaks and red legs, and it just thrilled me. I just thought I'm going to keep going with the crow birds. So my first crow wasn't very good, and I did film it, so you've seen it, and it's still not great, but I then thought I'll wash over and see if I can rework and rejig things a little bit, and I gave him a tree. That led me to, this is crow, and this crow, same thing, ink pen, bit of a wash, a double wash actually, and then I went in. I've been meaning to say to you, these are good. I went in with these Winsor & Newton watercolour markers. I've had a set that I shift around in pencil cases. I put them in, I take them out, I put them in because I think I'm not using them, and I'm really using them, and I really like them. They're nice in the sketchbook. I thought they'd be worth mentioning. I went this morning to see if I could get another set, and they never had them, but I did pick up 2 more buddy books. If you haven't seen the video with the introduction of buddy book, sketchbook, they are sea white A5s, and it's all media, acid-free cartridge paper. So for £5, I think they're really good. They work for me. I won't always be able to take the bigger sketchbook on trips, so I've nearly finished buddy book, so that's really, really good. Right, what did I want to say to you? I wanted to just say that when you've put a glaze or a double glaze, you can then go, it's really nice to sit down and go back in with your ink pen or with your watercolour markers and just relax and really enjoy it. So I was quite pleased with those results. The other pen I want to talk to you about is these guys. Again, I've had them, I got them in November or December, and they are permanent markers, coloured permanent markers. I bought a big zippy bag of them on Amazon, and you get a chiselled end and a finer end. And boy, I wasn't prepared for how powerful they are. This is the front using, so that would be the under layer, the first layer, and look at that. I really like that. So I like the fact that they don't shift when you glaze, and they're strong enough to give you this lovely echo of what you're drawing, and that I like equally as much as the intended drawing. I'm getting my words muddled up. I think I'm overexcited at being home, fetching Rocket looking at stripy cut grass. It's all good stuff. So, where am I? I am going to talk much more next week about Sketchbook, about those pages that I said I'd talk through. So you never know what's going to come. It's like I have the soundtrack of a song in my mind, You Fill Up My Senses, and I can't think of the name of the guy that did it. Was it John Denver's song? You Fill Up My Senses. I'm going to have to go and Google that now. Anyway, it's a fantastic track. I love it. And it's background noise at the moment for thinking of all these things that I've got that I can experiment with and explore from that little trip. Really, really good. So I'm a bit overexcited. I need to calm down, go and have my lunch, and I will see you next week. Thank you for some fantastic comments, and thank you for liking and subscribing, and I will see you next week. Have a lovely week, everyone. Bye for now.
Yeah.